Hello viewers, welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, government calls for a more effective public works cooperation. We will report on recent government projects now ongoing in St. Joseph, and Domfesta launches its calendar of activities for 2013. Stay with me as I bring you the details of these and other stories right after the break.
Listen closely and you will hear what climate change might sound like. Hurricanes getting stronger and more frequent. Glaciers melting, causing a rise in sea levels. Dry bush burning after a prolonged drought left the bushes vulnerable to fires.
What? No water again?
But listen closely again and you will hear the solutions. People switching to energy-saving light bulbs. People building stronger homes that can withstand hurricane force winds. Our climate may be changing, but so can we. Making small changes together can have a huge effect on reducing the impacts of climate change. Act now. Rally, rethink, respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat with funded assistance from USAID.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Corrective work is now being done to sections of the Roseau Valley Road Improvement and Maintenance Project, which was compromised during the road's construction. GIS News understands that during the construction phase of that project, certain segments of the road were compromised during the application of the asphalted concrete. Public Works Minister Honorable Rayburn Blackmore at a press conference on Wednesday made it clear that the work is being done by the contractor Dipcon Engineering Services Limited under the defect clause at no cost to the government.
Within the contract, with the contractor, there's what you call a liability or defect clause. And so what is happening now is that the contractor is making the requisite correction at his own cost. So it's been done with no cost to the state, and we have to ensure that that is done. And the reason why I'm saying that, because a number of persons had called and asked questions, and some person said, okay, the government just did the road, and they're digging the road again, and putting back potholes in the road. But I think that demonstrates that the government of Dominica is serious about ensuring that the product that is given to us is the best. And because the road in itself has to stay with us, so we have to ensure as a government that the road project in itself meets the condition and the standard as stipulated in the contract.
The $34 million RIMP project, which commenced in 2011, involved upgrading and rehabilitation of the Roseau Valley roads, which included the Santa Roma Back Road. The RIMP project was funded by the Caribbean Development Bank. In more news, government continues to ensure that the needs of each community is looked after. Parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelva Daru, took time to update the nation on government's impact on the community of Hillsborough in St. Joseph. Honorable Daru spoke on site of a massive community-based project to improve drainage in a recently upgraded housing area. Government in 2006 signed contracts to construct 30 houses in that community, and according to Honorable Daru, the ongoing drainage project serves to complement that move.
Currently, we are undertaking a project to have the drains in this area completely rehabilitated and constructed. Two contracts were awarded to two contractors from the community of St. Joseph, Neverson Wade and Andrew Dennis. Each of the contracts is in the range of over $200,000. And I must say this is a very important project, since the persons who are already occupying the houses here at Hillsborough Gardens, they've mentioned the need to improve on the drainage in this area. And government has seen the need to ensure that we can accomplish this task within a short period of time. Of course, we have the employees here from the community of St. Joseph and Layo. So we are providing local employment for at least 24 young men from the community, and this augurs well for local employment.
Contractor Andre Dennis spoke to GIS News about the details of the project, which has been underway for about 2 weeks.
We're running these box-side kind of drains so that we could connect the curbs and steepers, which is the flatter drains, to them, so we could have easy access for the water that the people use, their wastewater. So what we're doing now is getting all of the boxes done, as you can see. And when we get it done, we will bring these flatter drains into them, and then we can have the wastewater controlled.
According to Dennis, the remaining 500 feet of drains to be constructed should be complete by the end of May. Dennis considers the project a worthwhile one, for which government should be commended.
I think it's a very good thing the government is doing. When you watch the housing situation, the houses were built like 3 years ago, and now the drains are being done. Hopefully the roads should be done immediately after the drains are being done. So we're just looking forward to see what else, we could get done in terms of our project for the residents of St. Joseph. So I want to thank the government in a special way for creating those form of employment for the St. Joseph constituency. Mr. Kelvadaro, I think, is doing a great job in terms of mobilizing those kind of projects around so that the people can get some way of employment.
The area's parliamentary representative noted government's intentions for the Hillsborough Gardens community and housing in general.
We have the drains constructed, we had the street lights erected, and moving further we'll have the streets here asphalted so that we can have a modern community here in the heights of Hillsborough Gardens.
With these improvements, Honorable Darrow sees the community of Hillsborough as an area well poised for residential expansion.
Hillsborough Gardens is a newly developed area which incorporates the whole village expansion of St. Joseph, comprising over 39 acres of lands and lots which also have to be for sale. And the government continues to place tremendous emphasis in terms of infrastructural development of the area. As a member of parliament, I've also made representation to ensure that the roads of there can be properly asphalted so that we can see a new image of the area and the residents of the area can really embrace the new St. Joseph that we are creating up at Hillsborough Gardens.
He invites Dominicans, especially public servants, to consider planting roots in his constituency. According to the parliamentary representative, government continues to make affordable loans available through government's Housing and Loans Board to make owning a home easier for public servants.
I also want to highlight the need that this area is a modern St. Joseph, and we are looking forward for persons who come here to really add more value to this area in terms of maybe adding a shop and such on other amenities that would heighten this area and will provide more of the community spirit here at Hillsborough Gardens. And I'm very pleased with the atmosphere here thus far, and the persons who have purchased these houses here at Hillsborough Gardens. And moving forward, we'll continue to work together with these people to ensure that we can continue to develop this entire area.
The drainage project was divided between 2 local contractors, each amounting to $208,000. 9 street lights were recently erected to improve the level of security in the area. The government of Dominica is committed to taking initiatives geared at encouraging the youth to embrace agriculture as a lucrative sector for economic survival. While the current farm population on the island now is on a decline, Dominica's Director of Agriculture, Ricky Brumont, says such programs are designed to give the youth the foundation to make their agricultural pursuits a success.
We are tabling initiatives to ensure that the youth are given the tools. Not just say we're developing a program or designing a program to engage youth without the tools. You tell a man go fish, you don't give him a rod, you don't give him a boat. We believe in giving a man a boat, giving him the rod, and teaching him to fish. Not only that, but taking him along and ensure that this fish, when it is caught, of course, gets to our plate.
The Director of Agriculture is convinced that there is a place for Dominica's youth in agriculture. He has encouraged youth to make themselves available for discussion and negotiations on the future of agriculture. For young people who are serious about making agriculture a career choice, Mr. Bruman said the field of agriculture is broad. He emphasized that agriculture should not be viewed as a dirty, backbending exercise.
Agriculture is not just planting and harvesting, which is good, but there is a gamut of careers that you can involve in. And if you want to be in medicine, do veterinary science. If you want to be in chemistry, do soil chemistry, and a whole host of chemistry. You can do a whole host of careers, biology and soil physics and soil machinery and mechanization and irrigation and the whole host of it. I think it is said that agriculture has the widest scope of careers that you can ever come across, as opposed to any of the other fields. Okay? So you don't think that it's only digging and planting that's agriculture, and that is good, but there's a whole host of areas that you can be involved in.
On Wednesday, young people from several organizations met at the Roseau Fisheries Complex to share ideas and make recommendations which will form part of the Caribbean agriculture policy. And the government is looking to address with urgency structural issues at the Public Works Corporation, which will assist in making the corporation function more efficiently. In recent times, there have been concerns about what could be regarded as wastage by the corporation of government's resources. Public Works Minister Raymond Blackmore says a formal business plan has been prepared to guide the future operations of the corporation.
I'm aware that the business plan has been completed and submitted, where you're looking at all the weaknesses and the strength and how we can correct the weaknesses moving forward. So I believe that it's in the interest of the country, therefore, to have a public works corporation that is effective. You see? And we have to work together to ensure that that is done.
The minister says efforts are underway to ensure greater accountability by the corporation.
All the debt of the corporation is guaranteed by the state. So it's in the interest of the state and the country to ensure that the Public Works Corporation functions efficiently. And that is what our effort is going to go into, to ensuring that there's accountability and ensuring that when any company is paid to patch a road, it is patched properly. And a contract should not be partially executed and expect to get paid in full. You see, there has to be responsibility and accountability. And I think going forward, once we can have that same mindset, then all the problems can be solved.
The Public Works Minister is hoping that staff at the Public Works Corporation will adopt a more professional approach to their work.
We're looking at a situation whereby persons can get the sense that when I go out to work, you understand, and we are effecting a contract, you have to have the mindset of a contractor. And within that mindset, therefore, is to go out and do the work with the highest degree of efficiency and speed. It's something that has to be paid by the public. So the public has to get value for money, isn't that so? And we have to ensure that we put systems in place and that when a contract is entered into between the state and any contractor, that the state gets value for money.
The Public Works Corporation is directed by a board which was recently appointed by the minister. Recently, Eddie Henry, the former manager of the Waitukubuli National Trail Project, was appointed to run the affairs of the corporation on a 2-year contract basis in the first instance. The Public Works Corporation currently has 113 workers on staff. Activities marking Dumfesta's 30th anniversary celebrations are set to officially begin next Friday, April 26. To this end, the Ministry of Culture has released its calendar of activities, which features art and heritage-based events leading up to June 2nd. At the media launch of Dumfesta activities on Wednesday, Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence disclosed that 3 plays will form part of this year's activities.
So we're happy to announce today that The Domfesta program this year includes 3 plays. Desired Will by the New Dimension Theatre, directed by Steve Hyacinth on April 26th, 27th, and 28th. A Tale of Slavery, Part 2 by the Libra Foundation on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, written by Giselle Peer and directed by Alwyn Bully. And A Tempest by La Coup des Arts on the 31st of May and also on the 1st and 2nd of June, and directed by Alwyn Bully. It will be staged at the Alliance Française.
Also featuring on the calendar of activities are a primary school's Creole Spelling Bee competition, the 40th Girardel Eggleston Flower Show, a week of African Liberation Day celebrations, and the annual Jazz and Creole scheduled for Sunday, May 19. Dominicans can also look forward to performances from the best local art students.
The Dame High Scorers Concert, featuring the students who performed very well in their music exams, is scheduled to take place on Thursday, the 9th of May at the Fortian Hotel from 7 p.m. Schools Arts Gold will feature the schools which attained gold medals at the recently held National Schools Arts Festival. Schools Arts Gold will be held on Thursday, the 16th of May at the Arawak House of Culture from 7 p.m.
The festival's headline event, the Domfesta exhibition, is carried for May 14 at the Old Mill Cultural Center. During the launch of the Domfesta 2013 program of activities, the Cultural Division also launched a DVD of traditional Dominican dances. Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence explains.
We take the opportunity to launch our new DVD of Dominica's traditional dances, which features the Petit Savan Cultural Group, the Capuchin Cultural Group, Tradibel, and the 2 Jingping bands which played for the dancers, and they are the Petit Savan Jingping Band and the Portsmouth Jingping Band. This DVD is yet another very important step in the documentation of our folk culture. The DVD is meant to be enjoyed, and at the same time, it is a very useful tool for groups and persons who want to learn the traditional dances of Dominica. It also serves as great promotion and preservation, I would add, for Dominica's traditional dances.
On the occasion of Dominica's 30th anniversary of the Festival of the Arts, the Cultural Division has also published some of Dominica's heritage through photographs.
Over the years, the Cultural Division has been able to collect all photographs of Dominican life. People, buildings, streets, landscapes. The photographs in this book cover a time period from around the early 1900s to the 1980s. So this is the second volume of old Dominican photographs called Heritage Dominica. As we know, photographs capture memories of what took place in specific periods of our history. They capture the mood and spirit of the time period, the types of expressions, the types of clothes and houses which existed, and the landscapes as well. They present us with a real and first-hand view of what was taking place at the time. And the photographs give us glimpses into our past and meaningful insight into our heritage.
The Cultural Division believes in the preservation and celebration of art and culture. According to the Chief Cultural Officer, Dominica is a better place because of festivals like Domfesta.
We feel that culture has a very important role to play in the development of the nation, in providing a strong sense of identity, in building our cultural industries, in providing jobs and income opportunities for our people. Culture also has a role to play in unifying the nation and engaging our population in positive activities, and in that way help to curb crime and violence in the society. Culture is a healing and peaceful force in the life of any country.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Claudia Bellot, says vendors who conduct business along the riverbank should get prepared to deliver a more improved level of service. The tourism official, who was a guest on GIS Insight program on Tuesday, made the remark ahead of the proposed development of the Roseau River Promenade, which is expected to commence in May.
They must see it as an opportunity for them to improve their business. And what we have decided to do is that we would work with the Environmental Health Department and the Roseau City Council. And even while the project is ongoing, to encourage them to set out a sort of plan for their business, but also to provide them with training in, sanitation in terms of how they operate their business, in terms of food sanitation, food hygiene, and also to see how they grow their business in the next few years.
The Roseau River Promenade project will include the redesign of the waterfront with the construction of river defense walls on both sides of the river banks connecting the west bridges. It will also include a boardwalk over the river connecting the two bridges, new food courts, vending kiosk, a restaurant, and a kids' playground. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has offered his personal and official congratulations to Venezuela's newly elected President Nicolas Maduro on his historic win at the polls. The Dominican leader described President Maduro's win as well-deserved following the loss of the late President Hugo Chavez. The deceased president prior to his death had endorsed Maduro to lead the South American nation. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, in a letter to President Maduro, pledged to stand in solidarity with the new administration. The Dominican leader reaffirmed his commitment to initiatives such as ALBA and PetroCaribe, which has marked as successful in building regional unity and cooperation. He is looking forward to the furthering strengthening of the friendship and cooperation between Dominica and Venezuela. The inauguration of the President Maduro is scheduled for Friday, April 19. And that's news. When we come back, we'll bring you the tip of the day. Don't go away.
Listen closely and you will hear what climate change might sound like.
$30 for a hand of bananas?
Severe drought could destroy banana plants and drive food prices up.
And now we can see the dead coral reef below us.
Dead coral? I thought it was alive.
No, it's dead. If you look at the pictures, you can see what the coral used to look like.
Oh, wow.
Natural wonders like coral reefs are disappearing. But listen closely again, and you can hear the solution. People disposing of garbage responsibly and not in drains and rivers. People responsibly discarding engine oil. Our climate may be changing, but so can we. Making small changes together can have a huge effect on reducing the impacts of climate change. Act now. Rally, rethink, respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat with funded assistance from USAID.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7. Channel 7. Channel 7. Channel 7.
Today, we'll share with you a few safe driving tips. Before beginning a long drive, always get enough sleep and eat something before you go. Highly caffeinated beverages are not necessarily the best way to stay awake while driving. While initially you will feel more alert, the effects can reduce or recede with time, and your attention may wander although you remain awake. Pull over and take breaks even if you don't feel sleepy. Grab a snack, get some fresh air, and stretch your legs by walking around. If you need to, take a quick nap. If you can, share the driving responsibilities with someone else. This will allow you to keep an eye on each other while driving and also enable you to nap without losing time. If you're driving alone, turn on the radio or put on some music and keep your window cracked open. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We welcome your suggestions and your comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching, and do remember to join us again tomorrow.